Wait, before we start, hit that like button and subscribe if you love a good scare. Because today's story is gonna make you check every dark corner in your house. Trust me on this one. My wife and I, we have two amazing kids, Leo and Mia. And like any modern, slightly anxious parents, we invested in the latest, greatest high-tech baby monitor. This thing was a beast. It had crystal clear night vision, two-way audio, and the feature we relied on most, a sensitive cry alert that would ping our phones the second either kid made a peep. Last Friday night, things were pretty standard. We were finally unwinding after a long week, and then the alert went off. My phone buzzed, vibrating across the coffee table. Instantly, that parental anxiety kicked in. I grabbed my phone and opened the app. The feed snapped to life in that familiar, grainy green night vision. I could see the kids' room perfectly. Leo and Mia were fast asleep in their twin beds. Everything looked calm, but the motion sensor display on the screen was spiking wildly, bouncing off the chart. Something was moving. I zoomed in, focusing on the dark patch of floor between their two beds. And that's when I saw it. Sitting right there, cross-legged on the carpet, was a third child. It looked small, maybe about 5 years old, rocking slowly back and forth. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was what it was holding. In its small, pale hands, it gripped Mia's favorite stuffed rabbit, the one she absolutely never let out of her sight. Now, let me tell you, that feeling you read about, that primal fight or flight switch flipping in your brain, it hit me like a physical punch. Every alarm bell, every warning siren, went off simultaneously. Who was this kid? How did they get in? And why were they just sitting there in the dark? I didn't wait for my wife. I didn't think twice. I bolted out of the living room, sprinting down the long hallway toward their bedroom door. I slammed the door open, my heart hammering against my ribs, and blindly slapped the light switch on the wall. The sudden, harsh overhead light flooded the room, instantly killing the green glow of the night vision. I blinked, trying to adjust. The room was empty, just Leo and Mia, blinking awake, rubbing their eyes, shielding their faces from the blinding light. They looked confused, startled. The floor between their beds was bare, and the rabbit, it was sitting, innocently, on Mia's nightstand, exactly where she had left it. There was no third child, no sign of forced entry, nothing. I stood there, gasping for breath, trying to process what my eyes had just seen or thought they had seen in the monitor. Had I imagined it? Was it a weird reflection? A glitch in the tech? "Daddy," Mia whispered, her voice still sleepy. "Why is the funny boy under your bed?" I froze. Every muscle in my body locked up. I didn't look down. I couldn't look down. I knew, with absolute, cold certainty, that the thing Mia saw was not under my bed, but under theirs. I grabbed both kids immediately, one under each arm, hauling them up out of their beds and clutching them tightly. I didn't look at their faces, and I definitely didn't look at the space under the beds. I just ran. I hauled them out of that room, out the front door, and didn't stop running until we were in the car, speeding away from the house. We stayed in a sterile, brightly lit hotel room that night. I didn't sleep a wink. I couldn't shake that horrible feeling. The next morning, driven by a morbid, terrifying curiosity, I opened the monitor app again and accessed the cloud saves. I had to know what the camera recorded, what the motion sensor truly detected. I scrubbed back to the moment I burst into the room. The footage showed me entering the room, flipping the light switch, and grabbing the kids. But the monitor was positioned so that it showed the entire floor area, including the dark recessed space under the beds. And the footage showed exactly what happened the second I turned my back and ran out with Leo and Mia. From the deep shadows under Mia's bed, a pair of hands emerged. They were long, unnaturally pale, almost skeletal. They reached out slowly, deliberately, found Mia's beloved stuffed rabbit on the nightstand, and with a disturbingly gentle grip, they pulled it down, out of sight, into the dark space beneath the bed. "We are selling the house." We haven't been back inside. Not even for the furniture. Not even for the kids' Fabry toys. If you have a baby monitor, check your footage carefully, especially under the beds. And let me know in the comments if you've ever seen something unexplained on camera. Until next time, stay safe and watch your shadows. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more true horror stories.